Hello everybody, welcome back to Being the Odds. It is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. We are back with our best bets of the day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Zach and welcome to Being the Odds. Let's recap yesterday's results. So yesterday, nice day, 5-2 yesterday. Members only took it on the chin a little bit. We got hooked with the T-Wolves, but overall a 5-2 day we will literally always take. And we have a massive day of picks for you guys here today. I just want to jump right into them. We have 4 college football plays for you guys here on YouTube, 2 NBA, 1 NHL, so 7 picks in total. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss a pick. We post these best bet videos every single day. Go after our first 15,000 subscribers, our first year and a half on YouTube. Excited to have y'all here. Let's go win together and let's go make some money. And by the way, we do have 6 members only best bets today as well. 6 plays, $65. 4 in college football, 1 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL. You get it at the zdmbets.com/picks. Website is linked in the comments below, along with all of our records as well. So let's jump into the plays that we have today. I'm going to start with our first play. We're going to go with the biggest matchup of the day first. It's going to be Penn State, Ohio State. I'm going to roll with Penn State plus 3.5 versus Ohio State. Now, full disclosure for everybody here, I am a Penn State fan, but even if I wasn't, I would be going with Penn State here today. First off, I get 3.5 points, and they're at home. Also, I think Drew Aller is going to play, and I think he'll be fine. I think that when they were watching against Wisconsin, I think they knew they can get it at home with a backup. And on top of that, he has looked so much better this year. Drew Aller has in comparison to last year. Last year looked like, honestly, kind of looked like shit. Just couldn't throw the ball past 10 yards. Just couldn't get it done. This year is completely different. His receivers are a lot better because of the transfer portal. Singleton and Allen are just beasts at running back, and I mean beasts. And that's going to be really, really important today because Ohio State's front 7 is really good, and they're going to have to make guys miss, run over guys in the hole. I think that's going to be a major, major move. Plus, Ohio State offensively just has not looked good. They have all the talent in the world. 2 great running backs with Henderson and Judkins. They've got great receivers, but Will Howard, to me, just is not going to be able to get it done today. He's never been a good thrower of the football, and that's going to be required today because the Penn State front 7 is elite, and the Ohio State front 7, by the way, is elite. I think Aller is going to be better than Howard today. So give me Drew Aller and the Penn State Nittany Lions plus 3.5. This is the year that they take out Ohio State, and I'm taking them. I'm going to take now listen. You could take the money line. You want to get a little frisky with it, but I'm going to take the plus 3.5. I'm going to take Penn State plus 3.5 today versus Ohio State. Next, we're going to South Carolina plus 4 versus Texas A&M. There is some benefit of betting these games early, so you can get numbers that are a little weird. Because I think right now, I would assume that this number will get down to because the sharp money being heavy on South Carolina, it'll probably get down to plus 3.5, plus 3. But I bet plus 4 versus Texas A&M. The sharps are on South Carolina today, big time. The fact is the public's all over A&M because A&M had this awesome win against LSU. By the way, last week, members only best bet, or biggest bet of the whole day was Texas A&M money line. We got the dub there pretty easily. But A&M had an incredible win, and this is just a very obvious letdown spot. They're going to South Carolina, they're going to Columbia, and I think there's going to be a slight letdown spot. Now, if they play Wegman, I feel great about my play. If they go with their backup, I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, but if they go with their backup, South Carolina has tape on him. He played games against Florida. He played, obviously, against LSU. He played games against SEC opponents. So last week when he came in, LSU just wasn't expecting it. They didn't game plan for it. South Carolina will, and I just really like South Carolina at home, and I'm getting plus points on it too. So give me South Carolina plus 4 versus Texas A&M today. Next, we'll go Minnesota minus 3 versus Illinois. This right here is a straight system play. That's what this is. When an unranked team is favored versus a ranked team, you always go with the unranked team, especially when they're at home, and Minnesota checks all those boxes. Minnesota this year has also played well against tough competition. They haven't won a ton of games, but they've played well against tough competition. Illinois just got smoked by Oregon, and I mean smoked, and their season's basically over because of it. And on top of that, when a team plays Oregon, or they play one of these top teams, a lot of times that hangover can go for a week or two. And Oregon, to me, is just a grinded-out type team that could have just put Illinois down so much that they can't get up for this game against Minnesota. Plus, Minnesota's at home, And again, I just think Vegas is laying a trap for all the dumb bettors where they're like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to put a ranked team and make them an underdog. And everyone's going to be on the underdog, and Minnesota's going to win this game by 4 or 5 points, and we're going to be sitting pretty, which is what I think Vegas is doing today. So I'm not going to fall for the Vegas trap. I'm not going to. I will be going with Minnesota -3 versus Illinois. And by the way, this opens me up a lot, right? Because if I end up losing, y'all are going to give me shit. But the fact is that when we win this bet, remember that I've warned you about Vegas laying a trap. Next, going Nebraska -6.5 versus UCLA. I'm very, very, very aware of what I just said about playing a really good team and then you can't really get up. Nebraska here, man, they just look really, really, really good against Ohio State. They look like their defense in particular matched up very, very well. And UCLA is just one of the worst college teams in the country. That's just what they are. Like, they're not very good. Sean Foster, I'm not sure if he's a good coach or not. I mean, it's very, very hard to see. But I do know Matt Rule is a really good coach. And I do know Dylan Raiola is going to be a fantastic college quarterback. And I do know that Nebraska's offense looks a lot better than what it has. And Ohio State's defense will make anyone look like that. I think there's a bounce back spot today. They're playing at home against a team that isn't very good. And they have the better coach, better quarterback, better personnel. Give me UCLA. Give me Nebraska -6.5 versus UCLA today. Next, we'll jump to the NBA. We're going to Oklahoma City -5.5 versus the Clippers. Big game off back-to-back. And you can say Oklahoma City, they played back-to-back. Kind of, right? I mean, they played against the Trailblazers, which, I mean, is basically you're basically playing a competitive practice at that point. And there's not very many of those in the NBA right now. So, that's good. They got a little bit of practice in yesterday. Oklahoma City, I mean, you can use the revenge factor with SGA getting traded from the Clippers. I bet the Clippers hate that trade right now. But Oklahoma State just matches up better. And this is a team that's out for blood this year. They want to go after being a top 2 seed. They're going to have to beat teams off back-to-backs, in particular the Clippers. And the Clippers, they're still without Kawhi. They're still, they're still not whole yet. And Oklahoma City is healthy. They're hungry. They're really, really, really good. And I just think they go into LA today and they win by 1,000. So give me Oklahoma City -5.5. And by the way, credit to the Clippers because with being without Kawhi, Ty Lue's put on a coaching masterclass. And on top of that, I mean, they've played a lot better than most people thought. I mean, I've had them a bunch of plays this year, and they've done very, very well. So I'm going to roll with Oklahoma City -5.5 versus the Clippers here today. And next, we're going to go with the Bucks money line versus the Cavs. The Sharps are all over them. The Bucks the Bucks look like complete garbage, and somehow they're favored. When it comes to the Bucks, I mean, I just don't really see how they're going to try to put Evan Mobley on Giannis, which I don't think is going to go well. I think Damian Lillard's going to play a hell of a lot better of a game. And this just, to me, and by the way, I don't really have many facts to back up this Bucks play other than the fact that they look like complete garbage. The Cavs look like complete world beaters, and somehow the Cavs are +2. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I think the Bucks go out and win this game. I'm taking them on the money line, not -2. So give me the Bucks money line as well in this game. And then we're going to go to jump to the NHL. I got one play for that, going the over 5.5 Buffalo and Detroit. One thing that you've noticed in the NHL this year is that when a team is coming off a back-to-back, they go over. That's what they do. They go over. And I really like the over 5.5 in Buffalo and Detroit. They're going to win this. They're going to go way over this number. It's too low. So give me the over 6.5, not 5.5, 6.5 in Buffalo and Detroit. Now, I might be adding a couple more college football plays a little bit later today. I'm looking at a couple other games, doing some more research. I'm at a golf trip right now, so I want to, I'm carving out a lot of time in the morning, but I got a little bit later today as well to go over some research and maybe add the cocktail party or something like that. If I do, I'll post those in the pinned comment below. I'll post those on Twitter, and members, you'll obviously have those sent to you. And for those guys who are members, you can get all of our members-only best bets. If you're not members, you can get all of our best bets at zdmbets.com/picks. Website is linked in the comments below. But guys, go lock in those picks. Let's go win together now. Let's go make some